继续华尔街时刻，我是美少于超，现在位于纽约证交所，为您带来最前沿的财经资讯。今天，纽约联储主席杜德利在纽约经济俱乐部宣布，最快将于下周退休。这是继美联储主席耶伦、副主席费希尔之后，决定会离开美联储的第3位联储货币政策决策的关键人物。可以说，美联储的铁三角已经不在了。那么说，一个时代也将会过去。美联储的大换血将对市场有怎样的影响？我们来连线芝加哥商品交易所交易员的分析和解读。Dudley's departure comes at a time of dramatic change at the Fed. There are currently 3 open seats on the 7-member board of governors. What do you expect from Paul-led Fed and the new direction on monetary policy?
I expect, and the market is also expecting the same thing. It's going to be an extension of the current Yellen policies. I don't see anything coming out of the woodwork here as being a surprise. I think they continue to monitor inflation. I think they continue to talk about wanting to raise rates more aggressively. But when it comes to action, I see them waiting. Likewise, we saw this year was a pretty aggressive year. We've seen 2 rate hikes already with a 3rd on the way. And now we have to wait for some inflation to build up. And I think that's exactly what we're going to see in 2018. The market is very uncertain as to when and how aggressive the new administration will be when it comes to the Jerome Powell era in central banking. But I think right now we can expect probably 1 to 2 rate hikes in 2018 based on what we know now.
We see the good prices edge back today at 1280, and the price remain under pressure from expectations that Federal Reserve is on track to lift the U.S. interest rate for a 3rd time this year next month. How do you think the amazing resiliency of gold price?
I think the gold market right now is looking at a lot of different things, Fed policy being only one of them. And the fact that we continue to see gold rally off these extreme lows, we saw gold get down in the 1260s recently, I think just shows you that this is not just a Fed policy trade. Yes, the uncertainty of 2018 with a new Fed chair and low inflation is one thing, but with all the rising geopolitical risks, with all the cryptocurrencies on their highs coming off and showing a bit of weakness, and with equities, global equities still on all-time highs, gold is a good place for a safety net. It's kind of a hedge against all these other positions. And I think given the fact that the dollar didn't see much of a trade today and we did see gold bounce off the lows, suggests this is a flight to quality bid and it should be around through year end.
People are telling that gold price is going to collapse because of the side of currencies. What do you think the Bitcoin right now, and will it continue to hit new highs or already overbought and should see a significant sell-off?
The move in Bitcoin has been nothing short of stellar, but I think that the gold trade right now on opposing it, they're a good hedge for one another. If you look at where gold could, gold Gold right now could continue to rally as Bitcoin rallies, but Bitcoin is very susceptible to large declines. As we've seen recently, Bitcoin can pull down $500 in a blink of an eye. And I think given the fact that we don't know a whole lot about where this Bitcoin is going, we do know it's going higher in price, but when you look at the technicals, gold makes a lot of sense to own along with it. So you own them hand in hand with the idea that when one goes up big, when one goes down big, the other may bid. So right now, I think gold is a great hedge against these cryptocurrencies until we get more clarity.
For crude oil market, the supply and demand dynamic appears increasingly more positive for oil as major producers implement production cuts and the world economy continues to expand. Is it different this time for oil as several technical indicators have turned decisively positive? Do you think that crude oil appears to be on the cusp of a major breakout?
Oil definitely is past the cusp of being on a breakout. It's in a breakout. And if we continue to see a move north of 60, I think you're going to start to see things really start to unravel. So we've been in this tight range in oil. We've seen all the production cuts, and we've seen we've heard what the Middle East and what OPEC wants, and we haven't really seen the results. And this is the biggest move we've seen in a long time in oil. And if you want to talk about geopolitical risk, you want to talk about supply and demand, it could be any one or all put together. But what we haven't seen is a price action like we've seen over the last several sessions. And to see a trade north of 50, 70, and see us pushing towards $60 as aggressively as we are, it's hating the stock market. It's going to continue to build momentum. I think the only thing that really stops this thing is if all goes well and production picks up and we see a trade back towards 50. But even then, that's still higher than where we've been over the last year or so on average. So right now, I think that this is the move. This is the change that we've been waiting for in oil. How long can it go on for? How much further can it extend? I think 60 is a good level, but if we get through 60, look out.
本期节目，我们和刚刚成功在纳斯达克上市的中国 P2P 平台和信贷的 CEO 聊聊中国消费信贷平台和上市的心路历程。 我们了解到，就是今年中国的这个公司在这个美国这边上市，就在纽约，像宜人贷、新而富、趣店纷纷选择了在纽交所上市，而和信贷选择了在纳斯达克，这其中的原因，您可以跟我们分享一下吗？
在我们看来，就是纳斯达克是一个更具有科技感的一个就是场所。那我们想为自己增添更多的科技感。另外一点的话呢，就是我们也想这个成为这个纳斯达克上面的中国互金的第一股。
很多就是华尔街的分析师，之前我有跟他们聊到，就是提到这个和信贷这个品牌，他们说和信贷对它的形容是小而精，就是对于规模上可能不会说占有绝对优势，但是近2年发现增长还是非常强劲的。所以说之前您这个增长的这个战略是怎么样，就是说保持这种程度，并且在上市之后，您想通过怎样的这种策略战略维持这种高效有质量的持续的增长？
这个增长的话，它跟消费信贷这个行业的本身有关系，因为这个行业呢，基本上你需要经过2年左右的打磨你的团队，然后你的风控体系。所以我们从2014年开始来打磨我们的团队和风控体系，然后到2015、16的时候就开始爆发。那的未来的话呢，我非常有信心，我们的业务还能够持续的快速的增长。所以跟这个行业有关系。
那未来您这方面有什么比较细节性的这种战略部署？
在未来的话呢，那我们首先的话呢，我们会去大力的拓展这个消费场景，跟消费场景结合，然后呢，争取能够第一时间获取到优质的借款客户。然后第二点的话呢，那我们一定会坚守这个金融的本质，然后做好风险的管理，做好风控。那第3点的话，我们会去加强我们这个IT 团队的建设，会引入更多的新的技术，更好的跟大数据的人工智能去结合。
在中美这方面，包括这个消费信贷平台差异主要是在哪里？就是说，您觉得有什么可以借鉴的，或是相互学习？
在我看来，核心的差异其实是美国这个市场经过多年的发展之后的话，它几乎能够深入到你每一个具体的场景里面去。所以说，你任何一个消费几乎都能找到一个很好的这个渠道去获得这个信用。那在这点上，中国是需要向美国同行学习的，所以这也是未来我们主要的努力的方向。我们已经跟蚂蚁金服下面的芝麻信用合作了。那在未来的话呢，因为中国的互联网巨头们拥有非常全的客户的画像，所以呢，这也是我们会积极寻求的合作的点。
这个贷款信用分析，
大体上来讲的话呢，它分这么4个阶段。首先是资料的收集与交叉比对，然后就是第2步的话就是反欺诈，第3步的话呢就是对它进行一个风险定价，然后第4步的话呢会有一个信用打分模型。中国没有像 FICO 这样的统一的这个征信类的公司，但是中国有很多新兴的小的征信公司，那我们会跟他们去合作。因为中国的消费信贷的需求确实是非常的强烈，那我们能够非常好的成为这个传统银行的一个有力的补充，然后跟银行业一起来服务我们的消费者，服务我们的客户。那从我们监管的这个政策的出台到后续的落地来看的话，也是在积极鼓励的我们这个行业的发展的，而且咱们的这个行业监管政策并没有出现说不确定性。
好的，以上就是本期的金石华尔街时刻，感谢您的收看，我们下期再会。